Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to Ventura Studio with me, Dan. This month, we are not building the Pirates of the Caribbean Black Pearl from Salazar's Revenge, as shown on this Revell box, but it is an easy click system, which is going to be fantastic to use. Instead, we are putting together the ship known as the Inferno, which is One-Eyed Willy's ship from the Goonies. You may have seen recently on the channel that there is a Goonies diorama full build on the anniversary of the Goonies this year, so please do check that out on the channel now. This model was pretty easy all round to put together. It's an easy click system, and this was actually the first ever easy click system model that I ever put together. You can hear some of the nice satisfying clicks in the background. But overall, fitment was pretty good. I would say that there were some noticeable gaps on the final model, but I kind of just left them. And I'll leave you with this nice satisfying quick bit. Nice. We all love that kind of moment, right? And then it was time to get the cannons onto the ship. So I stuck all these into the holes. Not all of them wanted to go in, if I'm completely honest, and this one in particular I really struggled with. So I had to carve out a little bit of the fitment hole to get that cannon to fit. But eventually they were all in place and it was time to put the sides of the hull on. And again, just some nice clicking action. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Nice. Just great content, right? Oh, not that bit. Okay, so with all the deck and the hull put together, it's time to add some deck accessories. So we've got the staircase up to the top, and I put this all together separately, and then added it as one rather than trying to use the stairs separately to the banisters. You may find it easy to do that yourself too. And where I click this bit in, great. Cannon started jumping up and down. But I put them all back together and continued on my way. Some of the last bits then to add in the masts, the front mast, center mast, and we got these nice spinning motions on the center mast too, for hoisting the sails, I imagine. And I'm sure there's going to be some, there we go, there's our nice spinning motion. And I'm sure that there will be some people in the comments that know exactly how ships should look. Oh, what was that? I don't remember. People will know exactly how ships are supposed to look. I don't. I'll be completely honest. I like looking at ships. I like looking at this ship, but I don't really get how they work. But onto the painting then. Started with some white primer on the sails, obviously, and some black primer on the ship itself. This is all Mr. Surfacer primers. Once that had its full coat, getting into all those nitty-gritties, I then went over with a top coat of white for the sails, more of like an ivory, an Humbrol ivory, and then on the very edges giving it that little burnt look with a bit of deck tan. Back to the ship then, I'm using this Humbrol wood colour, which gives such a nice realistic look to the wood, and coupled with that black primer really makes it jump out. But you can see me adding the yellow here, so this is quite unique to the Inferno from the Goonies, where it's got almost like a tiered paint system where it's a bit of yellowed wood and red wood at the bottom, natural wood colour in the centre, and then again a bit of a red wood look to the top. So I really wanted to capture that in this model, and I think it does come across quite well. The planks do sort of follow along, but it can look a little bit fake at the same time, so in future I'd probably dilute the airbrush just a little bit more to make sure that wood colour underneath pops. And using this Tamiya deck tan, which is just fantastic and really does make the deck look so real at the end. Getting that all over the horizontal surfaces, representing all these nice planks. And then another touch to the outside is these black lines that are quite unique to the Inferno as well. I'm guessing that they're hull seams, which I haven't seen on too many ships, or at least they're not defined too much on other models or other real life wooden ships, but it's quite a nice colour to make it look like where you can see different woods being used for different layers of the ship. And I was pretty happy how this turned out at this point. It was time to go over the cannons, give them a bit of a dark metallic look, almost like carbon. I'm not sure what they're made out of, but just to make them give that darker look, right? And the same with all these sections of either the cabin windows or the boat, you know, just add in some extra little finishing touches just to give it a bit of differentiation from the other surfaces. And I was pretty chuffed with how this little sailboat, rowing boat came across. And a bit of extra deck tan lightened up for the center of that boat too. So sealed it all in then with a nice gloss acrylic varnish. Looking back, maybe I shouldn't have used gloss, it gives it a bit too much shiny at the end, but it was mainly to seal in the model from the weathering elements, which we're going to be chucking on next. But again, like I say, looking back, it probably should have been a more matte acrylic. Oh, and more bits breaking off. Good job, Dan. And the weathering bit then. So the first bit I always start with is some artist turpentine. And this year is a really light top coat layer for the sails, and it'll sort of, by the time it dries, it'll be a mixture of what we painted as the base coat plus that top white layer. For the externals, a brown wash I used for all the horizontal surfaces, vertical surfaces, and this darker wash as well for the deck. And you can see that it does really pop. It gives it that, you know, burnt wood sort of look, not necessarily burnt, but just that worn wood. And this dark wash I used then as the very top, and to be honest, at this point I thought it looked really good. I was really chuffed. You know, it has that wooden look about it, and yeah, just felt like it was really popping. I do think that the bottom black line probably was a bit too thick in a retrospect, but here we are. You saw me putting on the top matte acrylic varnish as well, and this is how the model looks when it's all been put together. The last thing then is to put the sails on. And I think we're ready for the showcase. So there we go. One-Eyed Willy's famous ship, the Inferno, put together pretty poorly, maybe-ish okay, by myself. And thank you to the Pirates of the Caribbean for creating this model via Revell. Please check out the link on the screen now for the full diorama build video of some pictures you're about to see pop up. Coming up next month is a diorama from another absolute classic movie from 1985, and this one will be a trip through time. So with that, please do like today's video, it matters more than you can ever believe. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time.